Okay, so this is the last part of this lecture, and just comparing different types of fibers and the um, smooth muscle, skeletal muscle. So skeletal muscles have different types of fibers. We have slow twitch fibers, fast twitch fibers, and fast twitch come in two flavors. The slow twitch fibers are resistant to fatigue. So these are fatigue resistant. Okay. They're always oxidative, which means that these ones are burning that oxygen. They're also called red fibers because they have lots of myoglobin in them. Myoglobin is like hemoglobin, but it's how muscles can have a little supply of oxygen. And these are well supplied with blood. So these slow twitch fibers that are really good at burning oxygen, fatigue resistant, these fibers are what would make someone an excellent runner, so a marathoner, long distance, cycler, those types of things. White fibers are fast twitch glycolytic. Okay, they have less myoglobin, that's why they're white. So they have less blood supply, more susceptible to fatigue. And they're fast twitch, which means that they can, they're producing a faster contraction. So this is something you would find in a sprinter or someone, sprinter or maybe like a power lifter, someone who's going to do a lot of work very quickly. And then the fast twitch, fatigue resistant type 2B fibers are intermediate fibers. So these are the intermediate fibers. So they're between the two. They are oxidative. They're pink to red because they're between type 1 and type 2. Okay, and they have an intermediate amount of myoglobin. All right, smooth muscle. Compared to skeletal muscle, smooth muscle fibers, so the cells are shorter. Shorter. They have one nuclei, or they have one nucleus. Myofilaments, so that there's no striations because there's no transverse tubules. And there's no striations because the myofilaments are randomly organized. They're not nicely organized in those, I bands, A bands, that thing that we had for the skeletal muscles. And there's the sarcoplasmic reticula is not well developed. So not well developed. Smooth muscle fibers, instead of being straight, are kind of tapered ends like that with a single nucleus in here. Types of smooth muscle, we have visceral smooth muscle and multi-unit smooth muscle. Visceral smooth muscle is called single unit smooth muscle. It's sheets of muscle fibers. And they have gap junctions so they can communicate with each other. These are usually exhibit some sort of rhythmicity, so they're rhythmical in nature. So this is the thing that we could use to do that peristalsis we talked about, to move material through a tube. So this is where you have the peristalsis. Okay, and these are found in the walls of the hollow organs. The multi-unit smooth muscle, the fibers function separately. So they don't function as a single unit. Okay, so the fibers are going to function separately. We have this in like, say in the walls of blood vessels and in our irises, in our eye. Smooth muscle contraction looks a lot like skeletal muscle contraction in that there's interaction between actin and myosin. Both of them use calcium and ATP. Calcium and ATP, and both depend on impulses. Okay, so interaction between actin and myosin. So these are the things that are the same between smooth muscle and skeletal muscle. Still have actin and myosin. Still have calcium and ATP. And both require some nervous input. Okay, different in skeletal muscles. And then different are that the smooth muscles, no troponin for smooth muscles. Instead, they use calmodulin. There's two neurotransmitters for smooth muscle. We've got ACH still and norepinephrine or noradrenaline. So norepinephrine or noradrenaline. And we have hormones that affect smooth muscle also. So a lot of hormones affected. Stretching can trigger smooth muscle. Smooth muscle is slower to contract and relax, and it's more resistant to fatigue. So it's slower to contract and relax, and it's more resistant to fatigue. Cardiac muscle is only found in the heart. Okay, it's only in the heart. Remember those intercalated discs? Those intercalated discs allow cardiac muscle cells to communicate with each other. Highly branched. Highly branched. Cardiac muscle is self-exciting and rhythmic. And then that's pretty much it. Oh wait, no, cardiac muscle also has a long refractory period. Okay, and that is built in that way so that when one part of the heart's contracting, the other part is not. So long refractory period, or at least longer than the skeletal muscle. All right, that's it for the lecture part of the muscular system.